The chief eurocrat revealed his parents, who passed away last year, began to grow skeptical the policies of the son's European Union project when they reached the 70s. The Commission president announced a swathe of federalist policies when he gave his State of the Union speech in Strasbourg last September. He called for greater EU integration, which includes a EU president, combining the role with that of the head of the European Council, and a eurozone finance minister, a Brussels intelligence agency, European antiterrorism prosecutor, and an agency to enforce labour standards. However, even Mr. Juncker may be somewhat hard-pushed if he couldn't entirely convince his parents, who he said were pro-Europeans. Sergeant Jean-Claude Juncker admits even his parents question a European superstate when they reached the age of 70. He suddenly started to question a certain number of things they never questioned before. Jean-Claude Juncker, speaking at Centre for European Policy Studies Ideas Lab, the Commission chief, admit this had kept him on his toes. Mr. Juncker said, "I'm taking the example of my parents, who unfortunately passed away last year. They were very pro-European. I was educated in a very pro-European atmosphere, but when they reached the age of 70, I'd say 75 because I'm close to 70, they suddenly started to question a certain number of things they never questioned before. This is leading me to the consideration that we have to explain and explain again and again what European integration really is about. Peace and welfare are normal things for modern-day European citizens, according to Mr. Juncker." The Eurocrat adds he is struck that the European Union is such a popular project when he is on his global travels around regions like Africa and Asia. "When I'm coming back to Brussels, a valley of tears. In Brussels, people are crying, and in the rest of the world, people are admiring the European Union," he concludes. Mr. Juncker's comments somewhat echo the EU's fragility displayed by French President Emmanuel Macron. Monday, October 30, 2017, Jean-Claude Juncker is awarded an honorary degree. President Macron, while giving an interview to the BBC's Andrew Marr, revealed he believes France would have voted to leave the EU if a referendum was held. The Frenchman said, "I am not the one to judge or comment on the decision of your people. But my interpretation is that a lot of the losers of globalization suddenly decided it was no more for them." Marr then pushed the French president, regarded by many as the EU's new leader, on whether Britain's decision was a one-off. The BBC journalist asked if France had had the same referendum, it might have had the same result. Macron responded, "Yes, probably. Yes, in a similar context. But we have a very different context in France.